What's going on, guys? We have got only 3 weeks until Legion finally comes out, so I'm going to bring you another Legion build today using the Tabletop Admiral Legion Builder. Check them out if you haven't already. This is a great list builder, and we're going to make an Imperial list today, and one of the things I want to do is focus on trying to fully load out an AT-ST, and we're going to look at this guy. We're going to load him up. And here's a unit that's just crazy how big it's going to look on the field. But in addition to just how big it's going to look, it has a lot of weapons, right? It's already got Arsenal too, so you at least have to add one hard point to it. So I'm going to put the AT-ST over here. We've got so many things that we can put on this. But one of the things I also want to do is use General Weiss. And General Weiss is I'm saying Weiss like I think is the proper pronunciation, but I know a lot of people say a Weiss. But if you drink Hefeweizen, it's pronounced with a V, but it has the W there, so I think it's just like General Weiss likes his Hefeweizen. So anyway, he's 10 points. He's a pilot, and he's got the free action that is an exhaust. So you're going to tap him to use this action. But he's going to give you Arsenal 2. Now, all keywords that have a number are going to stack in this game. So Arsenal 2 will stack with Arsenal 2. So this is going to give you Arsenal 4. And the whole point of this is that you can fire 4 weapons at once. So, and there are 4 different weapons for this AT-ST. You've got your twin blaster cannon, which is really the good one, right? You got 6 dice, 2 red, 2 black, 2 white. Has impact 3, so it's good against vehicles. Awesome stuff. So what else do we have? We've got our 88 twin blaster cannon. We're going to add that. And that is an extra red, an extra black, and an extra white. It's only good at range 1 through 3, but it also has impact 1. And if you wanted to shoot these together at the same target, you could have impact 4, potentially, because these will stack if they're going against the same target. Then we can add the mortar launcher here. Let's add the mortar launcher. Now the mortar launcher is, there it is. Now this is 4 or beyond, so you're not going to be able to do all 4 of these weapons against the exact same target because you've got a 1 through 3 and then a 4 and beyond. But the mortar launcher is great for early game. It's great to be able to put multiple suppression on units, especially if you have somebody at exactly range 4. Depending on your deployment, it's potentially possible to get that range 4 shot right away. You could do some stuff. You could hit somebody with this, hit somebody with that. Also, if this hits, it's going to give suppressive. It's going to give them potentially 2 suppression. If you roll at least 1 hit with your attack, you're going to give them suppression from that, and then suppressive will give them a second suppression. So that's always nice. And then let's look at the grenade launcher for our third option here. We'll look at, whoop, there it is. Okay, now this is a close range weapon. This one is range 1 to 2. It's 2 black dice. And this one's cheap because it's really not all that great, but it's got blast, so it will ignore their cover, which is nice. This is also cool if you're splitting up fire, or if you're firing against somebody who's already been shot. There's this thing in Legion where it's harder to shoot somebody twice. And the reason I say that is because when you shoot somebody the first time, if you don't kill them, they're going to survive, obviously, but what happens after that is they get suppression, all right, unless you completely missed. But they're going to get a suppression token, and that's going to increase their cover by 1. So that's that's going to be significant, unless of course you're attacking them the second time with blast, because increasing their cover by 1 means they're going to be able to cancel one of your dice as you're attacking, or one of your hits, I should say. And usually you roll hits. There's only 1 crit on each die, so you're not really, the chances of rolling crits are pretty slim. So this is, blast can be nice against going after somebody who's already been wounded this turn and has a suppression token. So there is that. So we've got this AT-ST loaded out pretty heavily at this point. And I put General Weiss on there, and I put the 4 hard points. So we got a 240 point AT-ST right here. So what we can do is we can, once we can shoot with everything, we probably wouldn't want to do this first turn because we're probably not going to be able to use that, that grenade launcher. But once we have at least 1 person in range 2, then we can potentially fire everything, and that's going to be fun. But there are certain deployments in which this will be better for, like maybe where you have people at longer ranges, You know, if you start up very close to the enemy, then you might not be able to take advantage of everything. You might not be able to shoot all 4 weapons at the same time because, you know, to fire the mortar launcher, you got to have somebody 4 or farther. And then to fire, you know, the grenade launcher, you need somebody 2 or closer. So, you know, and then the other 2 weapons can both be used at range 3, because you can do this one at range 3 and then your actual core weapon at range 3. And even if you only get to fire 3 weapons at the same time, that's still pretty good. But at a certain point, you know, you might risk not really taking advantage of General Weiss. But that's the trick here, is trying to maximize your potential with this. So for a launch list, I'm going to go with Darth Vader as our commander. Darth Vader is strong, but now we've got 2 really, really expensive units. So that's going to make this list kind of interesting because it's going to be hard to kill these units, but you're not going to have as many activations. So let's outfit Vader, and then we'll address the limited activations. So Vader has Master of the Force, so we want to at least give him one of those Force upgrades that will exhaust. So I really like Force Reflexes. I've talked about this with my Luke Skywalker builds. This one exhausts, but it's free action. It gives you a dodge token. A dodge token is important because it gives you that defensive surge for deflect, and it also allows you to deflect, fire back at whoever shot you. So when you have a dodge token, people are less likely to even want to shoot you. So, you know, just having a dodge is huge. And Vader especially doesn't want to take his action to dodge because he kind of wants to move. He wants to be moving twice if he can. So, yeah, there is that. All right, so we got Force Reflexes, but let's give him another one. Let's give him Force Choke. Also, I like Force Choke. This one also isn't available to Luke Skywalker because it's dark side only. And this is another free action. Choose an enemy trooper mini at range 1 that is not a commander. It suffers a wound. So this basically allows you to, like, if some rebel trooper has like the Z6 or whatever, their big heavy gunner guy, this allows you to just kill their heavy. You know, and that's just great. I definitely like that, and it's not considered an attack either. So we've got let's add Force Choke. So now we've got 2 different things. We got Force Reflexes and Force Choke. Looks good. And now Vader that's 220 for Vader. So we're already looking at 460 points. So now we need to address the fact that we don't have that many actual units. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add some Stormtroopers. We need at least 3, but I think we can add 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 Stormtroopers, and let's add some speed since everything's kind of slow, right? Vader's pretty slow. The AT-ST will probably take it slow. I think adding a Z speeder bike is going to help us lure people out because this thing is so fast that it can fly out there pretty quickly, get those, you know, and having Speeder 1, you know, that compulsory move is just really nice. And Speeder, and the number isn't the speed that you have to move. A lot of people think, oh, Speeder 1 means I only have to do a compulsory move of 1. No, you have to do your full movement, but the 1 is you can ignore height of 1 or lower. So if there's, you know, a really tall tree, you can't ignore that. But if there's like a short plateau that's, you know, like 6 inches or less, basically, whatever's height 1 or lower, then you should be fine. You can just like hop up on there, which would be kind of cool. And also can give you some elevation and get you some sneak attack shots on some folks. So a lot of cool movement there. And also you've got cover 1 on this guy, so if somebody shoots you, you get to cancel one of those hits right away. So you've got both offense and defensive surges. So even though you've got the white die, you have moderately good survivability because you have your defensive surge, makes the white die a little better, and cover 1 also cancels a hit automatically. Not bad. But the idea here is that you'll be able to use this guy and kind of maybe draw some people to move within range of attacking him and try to make your AT-ST fire, you know, be able to get all 4 shots at the same time. Because if people are moving into you, you can maybe make all right, we'll send this one guy out so I can hit him with the mortar launcher. All right, so that's our Z47 speeder bike. We have a 726. We could add another Stormtrooper unit and then just go with like 5 vanilla Stormtrooper units. But instead, I'm going to upgrade some of these Stormtrooper units. So I'll do one kind of heavy. I'm going to give the, we have DLT-19s, which are our sniper, basically, 1 through 4, and we have an HH-12, which is the rocket launcher. We need, I like him because he's got the more dice. I think the DLT-19 might kind of fit into this build a little bit better, though. So we can go either one. So here's the distinction here. If I didn't have my AT-ST with all of its impacts, like the AT-ST will be able to deal with a snowspeeder if we've got that, or another AT-ST. So we've got our impact right here. If we didn't have an AT-ST, I would pick the HH-12. So I'm going to go with the DLT-19 Stormtrooper. He still also has impacts also, but he's got more range. He's going to work better for troopers. Okay? And the other thing that makes him particularly good is you don't have to refresh him. This guy, you have to refresh his die, so you have to waste an action every other turn or so to be doing, to continue to shoot him. And also, he's not good at close range. So this one is just more versatile. So I like the DLT, and he's cheaper. So we can add a DLT-19, and then I can add an extra Stormtrooper to that unit. All right. Now that brings us to 761. We could do 2 of those. We can make 2 DLT-19s, and now that brings us to 796. So now we can have 2 kind of throwaway trooper units, and then 2 more heavy trooper units. And these throwaway units can be like maybe the ones that I send to trigger an objective or to go to get somewhere, and I don't mind if they take some wounds. And these are the guys that I want to be at full strength so they can keep shooting and doing the damage. And we could even add maybe grenades to one of these as well. We have nope, we can't, because those are 5 points, and that would put us over 800. So 796 gives us a little bit of an initiative bid. So that is the list, guys. Let me see if we have, I will put a link to this actually in the description below. But the highlight here is the AT-ST, trying to find ways to make this work without kind of consuming so much of your build. It's harder, I think, and it's definitely going to be harder at launch to run the AT-ST, especially a fully loaded one, because of the fact that your commander, you're kind of stuck using Darth Vader. Not that he's bad, but that he's so expensive. You don't have a cheap commander option until General Weiss comes out, and I think it stands to reason that General Weiss will probably be a lot more conducive to vehicles. And I think it's a safe bet that if somebody wants to run 2 AT-STs, doing that with General Weiss, he's probably going to be the guy of choice. I don't think there's any winning builds that are going to run Vader and 2 AT-STs, because then you won't be able to put really any upgrades. You're going to have to run 3 naked stormtroopers, 2 AT-STs, Vader, and that would probably be it. And you're just not going to have the depth you need. And somebody can run twice as many units as you and just ignore you and just play for objectives and win that way. So here you've got some stopping power. You're pretty well versed. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units, which is, I think, the bare minimum that you want to go. I don't think you want to do 6 or less. I think that's just not an effective way to go. But I would love to be wrong, so if you think I'm wrong, let me know. But let me know what you think in this build. There is another round of the giveaway going on right now, so you can win a expansion of your choice in the form of a $20 Cool Stuff gift card. The only thing you need to do to enter that is to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you think in the comments below. If you are a subscriber already, thank you, and don't forget to click that little bell for alerts so you don't miss out on giveaway winners, as well as any new videos that I have coming out. So should be a lot of really cool announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if once this game comes out, we see a lot new stuff get announced. Especially there is that overdue expansion for Imperial Assault that I think they're going to be releasing very soon. It is probably going to be a Rebels-themed expansion, but we'll see if my predictions are correct. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.